Good evening. Let's try again. This is the second time I've tried to make this video, but people keep interrupting me. Right, what it is, it's this buck boost converter again that I did a short video on a few days ago. Bit more in depth about this. Right, what it is, this was off AliExpress. €19 for this. Absolutely brilliant price for it. What it is, bit more on how you set it and how you use it. Right, what it is, you've got your voltage coming in there, this side. I think it's 10 to 60 volts in, and then you've got, coming out, you've got 12 to 90 volts. Actually, I've had 98 volts out of this, but how long it'll run on that, I don't know. And it was a true 90 volts because I used this meter, which is highly accurate, believe it or not. And the current I've had out of it was around about 24 amps at 24 volts with a 12.37 volt input. Yeah, this I highly rate. I'm going to use this to charge lithium iron phosphate batteries in the car. I'm going to connect this to the alternator or the battery through a switch on the ignition, through a relay, so that when the ignition is on, that's the only time that this is on. So it's not discharging the battery into the second battery when the car alternator isn't running, which would be bad if it was on all the time, because it would absolutely drain the battery in the car. I wouldn't be able to start it, wouldn't go to work, get my arse kicked up and down the street. Don't want that, thank you very much. So yeah, but that's probably going to be another video. Possibly not, depends on whether I can be asked, whether it's pissing down the rain or whether it's dark. But yeah, what it is about, it's about this actual buck converter anyway. To set these, you've got the voltage, there is that one. You turn that with a meter to the desired voltage. That one there is to set the current, same thing, and that one is to set the under voltage protection, so you can set that. I don't know how high or how low it goes, but I've set it around about 13 volts, which I'm using at the moment. That, which is a 12 volt 20 ampere battery, lithium, it's a LiPo battery, that one. I was going to use that in the car, but I don't like them because they blow up, create fire, whereas the lithium iron phosphate are a damn lot safer. They don't blow up, don't set your car on fire, don't set your house on fire, etc, etc. So that's so it is. It's got the fan on the bottom. Thing to note with that fan is completely and utterly useless. Doesn't work, doesn't come on, doesn't do anything. And why is that? Because of that there. That there says NTC, which is a negative temperature coefficient controller thing. Thermistor. That doesn't come with one. It's left off, which is crap. So no matter how hot that gets, the fan won't come on. So why they put the fan on? Then don't send it with anything connected to that. I don't know. What I've done, I've just got a bit of wire to actually come off now. But you can bridge that out there. Bridge that completely out and the fan will be on all the time, which you're going to need if you're running. I may have had this running at about 18 to 20 amps to charge a 24 volt lithium iron phosphate battery. So that is needed, because without it, that gets red hot. Them capacitors get red hot. Everything gets red hot. You got the fan. Fan doesn't stop that getting hot or them getting hot, but it does keep that heating cool, which helps a bloody lot. Yeah, 320 amp fuses. So you can have 60 amp in before they'll blow. But once one blows, because if you've got 60 amp, they'll all blow. It's just the way they do it. Yeah. Right, that is about all there is to say to that. So they're simple as hell. Your input there, 10 to 60 volt. Output there, 12 to 90 is what they state. But I have had that up to 98 volts. Probably not recommended, because things might blow up or start smelling and smoking. And you don't want that, because that's crap. But yeah, €19, AliExpress, delivered to my door for that price. Can't beat that. Brilliant piece of kit. Components look well made. Soldering's pretty good, which is unusual for a Chinese item, because usually the solder is just like, looks like somebody should dropped it in a bath solder. Probably what they have done. Also, what I've done is I've covered the circuit board in like a rubbery, gluey shit, I think is over substance, which is that stuff. B700 clear. It's like a rubbery, gluey sort of thing. That I've just put it all over the components, so all over the chips and the capacitors, because these tend to be a bit loose when you get them. These wobble around a bit, and if you're going to use it in a car, you're going to need it to be a little bit more sturdy than what it comes out the factory on. So I mean, I've covered all the chips there to keep any damp. If it's going to be the car, it's going to be damp. It's going to happen. I don't want water getting into the chips, because that'll just create problems and things will blow up. So I don't know if you can't really see, but that shiny is that glue. It's like a rubber. It's like silicone, but better. It's a lot stronger than silicone. I mean, them are rock solid. The inductor's rock solid. And the temperature range of that is about 85 to 90 degrees, so it's not going to really... You get into that temperature, other things are going to fail. Capacitors are going to go pop. And, yeah, so don't worry too much about that. But, like I say, one thing to remember is, you buy one of these, you want the fan to work when it gets hot. It won't, because there's nothing connected to that. So the fan circuit isn't complete, so the fan will never come on. Crap, I know, but there you go. The reason I bought that, like I say, was to charge up a lithium iron phosphate battery at around about 10 to 15 amps when the car's running, which will draw probably 20 to 30 amps on the input side. I mean, that wire isn't sufficient. It's got to be changed. I will put some thicker wire in there when I do originally do it. This is only for testing. I've just been charging up some 18650s, 24 volts. The LG got loads of these. That's just a charge, and it's charged them. Brilliant. Set the voltage, 25.2 volts, fully charged them. Set the current to about 1.5 amps. I mean, you can set that up to whatever current you want it to charge to. That's what that's for there. That one there's the voltage, that one's the current. I got that to replace this piece of crap. This was off AliExpress. This was supposed to be a buck boost converter. Well, it is a buck boost converter, and it does the job it's supposed to do. It converts same sort of thing, 10 to 60 up to... I've had out at least 90... No, I haven't. I've had out at least 120 volts DC. What you'd use that for, I don't know, but you can do it. I mean, you could charge the 72 volt e-bike batteries. The most I've had out of this is 8 amps at 56 volts to charge up my e-bike battery. But the thing is with these lie. They don't tell the truth. You put that, say, to 56.6, 56.4, whatever it is. Set it, which you have to do every time, which is another pain in the arse. Disconnect it. Reconnect it. All the voltage is gone. It starts off at 12. So you've got to go back in, press all these piddly buttons, set the voltage, set the current. They lie. It's off by about 5 or 6 volts, which is, for charging a battery, is a lot, and it's also dangerous. So I don't use that anymore. It's no good. So once you disconnect the wires, reconnect it, it's gone. There's no memory. It's all going to be redone. Whereas with that one, disconnect it, reconnect it, comes back on exactly the voltage that you set it for. There's no messing around, no piddling around. You set it to your own voltage with your own voltmeter, so you know that what you've got coming out of there is what you're going to get. There's going to be no, with that one, say you set it to 25 volts, turn it on, it'll come up at 27, 28 volts. And also with this one, I did notice that when I was setting it to 25.2 to charge some 18650 to 24 volts, I'd leave it running at 1 amp, I'd come back in, batteries would be charged, yeah, but this had started to run away. This was up to nearly 30 volts. Don't know why. It's supposed to be constant current, constant voltage. It's not. It slowly builds up and it doesn't cut off. It doesn't stop at the desired voltage that you set on there. I still haven't figured out why. I can't be bothered with it because I mean, it's only a 900 watt anyway. It's half the wattage power of that one. That's 1800. It's smaller. It's easier to use. I mean, look at that great big piece of junk. It gets red hot as well, that thing. It's just, I just shan't be using it anymore. It's no good. Whereas that one, smaller, much more efficient. I think it's about 98% efficient. Yeah, it'll charge batteries. You could run it on a power supply if you want a variable power supply up to 90 volts with, say, 12 volts in. But what you've got to watch when you're doing that is that whatever power supply you use must be able to deliver the current, because if it can't, this thing just sits there, looks at you and goes, what the hell are you doing? Do you think I'm going to work? No. And it will cut off low voltage, or you just won't be able to change the current. You won't be able to build the current up, because don't forget, when you're converting up, you're doubling the input current you need, because the buck converter uses the current and the voltage to create the wattage to give you the output power. So yeah, need a heavy duty, either a battery, big battery, or a server power. So I think that one gives out 60 amps at 12, at 30, that's 13.4 volts. So that one can handle it, but I do use a battery. That's a 20 amp hour LiPo homemade battery, which is made up of quite a few of these. So yeah, but that off AliExpress, €19 delivered to the UK, to my door, working out the box, apart from the fan, like I said again. That is the main problem. You do need to bridge that wire there. That little solder connection there, just put a blob of solder on it, or you can put a switch on it, or put a variable heat sensitive resistor on. But I haven't figured out what the value that needs to be yet, so that's not been done. But yeah, so there you go. That's the output, that's the input, that's your under voltage protection. So you could set that to, say, 13 volts if you're going to use it on a car. So once the battery current drops below 13 volts, that'll shut off. There's your current, and that one there is your voltage. I've had no problems with it yet. I haven't had it that long, but I've run it quite hard. I've had it up to about, the maximum I've had was 24 amps, and everything got hot. Especially the inductor and the capacitors, the output capacitors got really hot. That didn't. Well, it did to start with, because I didn't realise that the fan wasn't going to work. When I got the fan working, great, everything was brilliant again. But yeah, so there you go. That is what it is. Good piece of kit. AliExpress, €19. I'd say 20 quid. I mean, for that, 20 quid. Would you make that with them parts for 20 quid? I don't think so. So, yep, there you go. I will see you again shortly with another video on something else completely different. Well, maybe not. There you go. Catch you all later. Ta-da.